Recognized.
The only performance is this entire charade put on by Democrats in this committee that they give a whit about what's actually happening at the border of the United States, that they give a whit about migrants.
You want to see where the hell we are on this?
While in the false name of compassion.
What is the order?
Can we have order in the committee, Mr. Chairman? For goodness gracious.
Someone should mute their microphone.
People take their pajamas off and get the frig back in their job. I mean, good grief. I mean, seriously. I mean, I took a little aside here. This is absurd. I mean, you know, yeah, COVID, and here we are. We got people hanging out at home, like talking to half their conversation, turning their TV on. It's an absolute abomination. This is the way we're operating a committee. It's shameful. It's almost as shameful as the absurdity that I just heard about performance, right? It's a performance, right? I'm well aware because I've seen the scoffing, I've seen the eye rolling by my colleagues on the other side of the aisle. I sat here and watched the Secretary of Homeland Security look straight at us and lie that we have operational control of the border when we have no such thing. And this entire bill, this entire piece of legislation is designed to, quote, solve a problem which is created by the very people advancing it. Having judges on the back end processing the very claims that they're encouraging in violation of our law, both the spirit and the letter, in violation of the law to detain individuals while they're supposed to be dealt with, in direct contradiction of the entire premise of having operational control of the border. And meanwhile, migrants die. Just now, a video that was posted just a little bit ago of a parent going across the Rio Grande, almost going under, almost drowning, with a literally weeks-old newborn above the water. This is compassion. The mobile morgues, the body trailers in South Texas, that's compassion. And the solution being offered are more judges or changing the judicial structure in order to, in the words of my colleagues on the other side of the aisle have been talking about it, streamline and improve the processing. But in fact, what you're doing is blatantly encouraging more people to come in violation of our laws that say secure the border, and where there is an exception for consideration of a legitimate asylum claim with credible fear, make a determination. My colleagues prefer to flood the zone purposely, knowing that the vast majority of the claimants do not have credible fear, overwhelm the system, and then come up with a fraudulent patch to the system by saying, let's just move judges to another location. Let's call them something else. And then let's pat ourselves on the back for processing more individuals. While they all end up getting abused by cartels for profit, and my colleagues on their side of the aisle sit there and say, oh, we're the ones engaging in performance. The entire Democratic Party is one great big performance. A performance based on race baiting and lies. That's what the Democratic Party is reduced to. We saw it all day this afternoon with this bogus attack on Clarence Thomas, this bogus attack right now on our very system of justice and having a border that's secure and an immigration system that works, by now trying to punt to some sort of absurd structural change in our courts. But we'll do nothing, as the secretary sat here and smirked at us, smirked at this body, claiming operational control when there's no such thing. And to listen to my colleagues say, oh, yeah, no, there was no impact by the previous administration's policies. It's absolutely blatantly absurd. The numbers were a fraction of what they are now because we were actually enforcing the law. The law as written, the law as anybody with a first grade education can be able to see, requires that we detain, requires that we have operational control of the border. Instead of having Border Patrol agents amount to nothing more than processing agents and babysitters at a handful of parts, while dangerous individuals, including 42 people on terrorist watch lists, come into the United States, and almost 500 gang members, 700,000 gotaways. Performance. The entire Democratic Party is a performance, and it's a shame. We've had Democrats stand up for secure borders in the past, and now they walk away.
Time of the gentleman has expired.